Hello, I'm gonna not say my name right now. In the future, I want to really establish a more official, YouTube, um, I don't know, platform. But for right now, this is probably my first video, and I want to really speak on certain things that I notice with this paradigm, with this life that we live in. Um, what I want to get straight to it. I didn't map out anything. I didn't try to like make an outline of what I'm gonna say. This is kind of random. Um, it's not really a random topic. It's just a random, maybe not random, just not very linear um presentation. I'm not showing my face because I work for two different companies, different kind of jobs, and they both have authority that I wouldn't want um, to to see me talking about certain things because I might get in trouble. So, what I want to speak about today, I think I'm going to call this video Wedlock Down. I want to speak on one one very tiny, minute aspect of of what we deal with in this matrix system, and it's children and their parents and and having children, people having children out of so-called wedlock, right? Um, okay, I don't know what this is. It's really, really pissing me off right now. Anyway, people having kids out of wedlock. I wasn't born in America, and I spent um, a good 17 years born and raised in the country that I came from. And where I'm from, people are a little bit more laid back. I'm from the Caribbean. People are a little bit more laid back. They don't take themselves as seriously as American people. American people, they take themselves very seriously, especially white Americans, but Americans in general, because for some reason, white culture influences the whole country and ultimately the whole world. But what I want to speak on is, why is it such a big issue for people having kids out of so-called wedlock? Like I was saying, where I'm from, it's not a big deal. Like it's not an issue. When a girl gets into her mid to late um 20s, getting on to 30s, where I'm from, you know, it's not a big deal. Like, the first thing people wonder, is she gonna have a child? You know, they don't suggest that marriage. Like whenever I meet certain people, mostly white people, because that's who I work around. When I meet certain people in America and they ask you, "Do you have kids?" I'm like, "No." I'm like, "Oh, well, oh, you're not married, or are you married, or well, I said, well, I don't have kids, and they're like, okay, are you married? And they're like, no. It's just like they're just like saying to me that it's the normal way is to have a child after marriage, during marriage, when you're married. And I'm like, okay, you know, what is that? Because where I'm from, it's just when a girl have a baby, it's a big deal sometimes where I'm from. When they have a kid in the teens, people want you to leave high school, at least leave high school first. That's what they look to. But after that, if you have a baby, married or not, it's not a big deal. And I got a little shock when I came in this country as to how people try to hold with this having kids out of wedlock thing. Like, what's the big damn deal? Like, what's the problem with that? Like, if you have a problem with having children out of wedlock, you have to have a problem with having sex out of wedlock, because babies only come from sex. They don't come from marriage, right? And you cannot. And a lot of these people who believe that people should have children um only after you're married, a lot of them probably would, not all, but a lot of them probably would have a problem with abortion. And what do I think about abortion? I really don't think about it. I don't judge people if they choose to do it. I don't think I would do one. I'll never say never, but I hope the situation or my life don't get to a point where I have to make that kind of decision. I really don't. But if people want to choose to have abortions, that's their prerogative. That's their life. That's their choice. But my thing is this: a lot of these people who have a problem with having kids out of wedlock probably have a problem with having an abortion also, and that doesn't make sense. That don't connect. That's not logical, because um, if a woman get pregnant when they're not married, it's either she's gonna carry it or she's not gonna carry it. And if she chooses to carry it, you're gonna judge her. Oh, well, she should have waited till marriage. And if she don't carry it, let's say you find out some kind of way that she had an abortion, you're gonna judge her. She had an abortion. She's a murderer. I mean, not everybody thinks this way, but a lot of people do, and that's contrary. That doesn't make a lot of sense. Like, if you have a child out of wedlock, first of all, if people weren't having babies, if people weren't having kids, none of us would have been here. And what I want to get deeper into this right quick, because um we were all born with certain urges. We're born with a nature in us to do what is natural, to yearn for what it is that what God gave in to us in our bodies, that is natural. Things that things that things like getting hungry, getting thirsty, um getting tired, these things come naturally. And another thing that comes natural is getting horny. And if you get horny, you want to have sex. And if you have sex, it's just as natural as getting horny, because it's the horny is the vehicle that drives you to finding the sex. Then you have sex, you might get pregnant. And I know a lot of people is gonna jump up and say, what about contraceptives? Sure, but there's no one contraceptive out there that is 100%. And I have a more natural, more evolutionary view on this whole contraceptive thing, because there's good information out there, and if you understand how this this matrix works, you realize that you cannot trust anything, and everything is a lie. Everything is a lie. Everything is a damn lie. So I believe that contraception, a lot of it is contributes to a lot of the cervical cancer, uterine cancer, all kind of maladies that that attack the female reproductive system, and not just the reproductive system, but the whole body in general. So it's okay. I mean, if you don't want to see it this kind of way, that's okay. But let's get more practical. I know I'm saying a lot, but whatever. I didn't outline this thing here, and that's what I'm dealing with right now. Whatever. There we go again. If there's not one contraception out there, or contraceptive method out there that is 100%, you know, there's a low, if you're on a contraception, there is always the risk of getting pregnant having sex. You might not. The risk might be low risk, but it's a risk nonetheless. And if you have a problem with, you know, and if you get pregnant, contraception or not, you got pregnant because you had a natural urge and a natural need for something that comes natural to every living being on the planet, which is sex. Without sex, none of us would have been here. Without people getting pregnant, none of us would have been here. The thing is that people are so caught they're caught in Babylon, if you want to call it that way, or you could say it like the Rastafarians say. People are caught in Babylon. They're caught in the matrix. They don't understand what's going on. We're so far from what is natural. We've been diverted and introduced to an unnatural life. And everything that all the values, a lot of the shit that they tell us is wrong or right, first of all, came out of religion, and then religion and Christianity, and religion in general, it influences the laws and rules and doctrines and values, you know, morals, you know, they're coming almost from the same place, religion. And a lot of people who are claim to be atheists and all these different kind of radical, I don't believe in God and I'm not religious, groups, a lot of them, they still, like in this case, they still like have a problem having babies out of wedlock. And if you're not religious, what's your stance on that? Why are you upholding this belief system and these so-called values and morals if you're not religious? Like, why? I just don't understand why people don't realize and they don't see that the life that they're living is an unnatural life. They don't get it. They don't understand that. How could you not see and realize and wake up and see that, you know, how could you not at least open your mind to see the way that I'm looking from it, from a natural, more evolutionary standpoint? You know, we're all when we're hungry, we eat and drink. When we're thirsty, we drink. When we get tired, we want to rest. When we get horny, we want sex. And if we have sex, there's a high chance that we might get pregnant. If you're not on contraceptive, if you're on contraceptive, there's a low chance, a low risk of you getting pregnant. And if you get pregnant, what should you do? Have an abortion? I mean, if that's what you want to do, that's fine. But just like people, it's a choice to have an abortion. It also be a free choice and a free will to not have an abortion. People need to wake up. You're all of these things, all the, like I was saying, the morals and the values, it comes from religion, and the religion influences the law, and everybody just trying to live this kind of way to just to prove to the world that they're decent human beings. And these things, these values, it's all in an effort, to serve one system, to serve this the elite's agenda for population control, in this case of what I'm speaking about population control. Like, God don't make mistakes. And when I say God, I don't mean some Christian God or some guy that live in the sky. I mean the universe, the universal force that's out there, the divine intelligence that's out there. Don't make mistakes. Do not make mistakes. Do not make mistakes. We human beings make mistakes because we go against God. We go against nature. We go against the universe. We start to believe that having a child out of wedlock is wrong. How could that be wrong? That's life. That is life. That's new. That's a blessing. Having a child should never be and I understand how people could end up in certain circumstance where having a child seem like it's not a blessing, and not everybody should be thinking about having children, because some people are children themselves. Some people did not grow up there. They don't have the resources and or the certain kind of value system, no, not, love, like love in them to grow a child in the right way. But how could you compare a piece of paper and a ring to giving birth? Having a child between two people is the most beautiful, most divine miracle and blessing that anybody could share. That anybody could share. And you allow this system, this matrix system, to make you believe that having a child is wrong because you don't have a ring on your finger? Because you didn't sign some kind of paper? That's a paper and a ring. We're talking about life. There's nobody in this world that's going to make me feel like I did something because I gave life. That's life. People need to wake up. If you get pregnant, it's natural. Having sex, getting pregnant and having a child is no less natural than getting horny and getting thirsty. I might have more to say on this. I might, but for right now, this is where I'm going to end it. And thanks for listening. Peace.